Prior to the Batman's release, I had nothing but faith in the, at the time, forthcoming project. Both Dawn of and War for the Planet of the Apes wowed me, placing director Matt Reeves firmly on my radar. Not to mention both of those pictures, alongside the Batman, are scored by my favorite composer of all time, Mr. Michael Giacchino. I was already a big admirer of such actors as Paul Dano, John Turturro, Colin Farrell, and especially the amazing Andy Serkis. And although I probably hadn't viewed Rob Pattinson in a film since 2005's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, I've been well aware of the man's super success on the indie movie front, having worked with such fantastic filmmakers as Robert Eggers and the Safdie brothers, not to mention my personal favorite director, Mr. Christopher Nolan. Ultimately, the Batman satisfied me and then some. It's wonderfully performed across the board, unexpectedly beautifully scored, excellently shot, and in general phenomenally constructed and executed. Directly following my first viewing of this 2022 picture, I was greatly anticipating a second chapter, rather than some sort of spin-off or prequel, though the latter part of that statement was altered for a pair of reasons. The sequel to The Batman was delayed a full year, and I witnessed and was very much pleased with both teasers for The Penguin. Simply put, after some time had passed, I realized that I was just craving some sort, any sort of story taking place in this particular world, though I do very much appreciate the time that Reeves and company are taking with the development of these Gotham-centric tales. The pair of Penguin teaser trailers displayed this dark, sleek tone and featured the spectacular Clancy Brown portraying the incarcerated Salvatore Maroni, from which I infer that we'll be learning of Oz's past criminal escapades alongside the now jailed Maroni. Now, an inherently difficult component of centering a film, or in this case series, on a villain is that the filmmaker can easily and understandably, in a way, fall into the trap of humanizing what is meant to be this antagonist too much, to the point where our baddie is no longer a baddie. Again, it's undoubtedly a tough task to focus an extensive narrative entirely on an inherently irredeemable villain for whom the audience cannot really root, while still keeping the viewer invested emotionally. All of that being said, purely based on the admittedly little we've seen via the couple promos that have been released, as well as my immeasurable faith in executive producer Matt Reeves, it feels as though we're going to be seeing the same grimy, kind of revolting inside and out villain to whom we were introduced in The Batman. I'm not saying I have an issue with, for example, sympathizing with a villain such as Kingpin's truly up childhood, but in general, when it comes to this specific topic, I want my villain, especially a foe as iconic as the Penguin, to, by show's end, stay true to his nefarious ways.